Let's get right into it. So the first point that I put here is uploads, because obviously if you don't upload your beats on YouTube, you won't get views. I mean, it's obvious, but there are some people that still don't understand this, okay? Also because you need a catalog to actually start ranking views. So there's 3 factors that you need to understand in order to start getting views. The first one, which I think is the most fundamental one, is the market research. This comprehends SEO score, range of artists, competition, and niche sustainability. So the first one is basically the relation between search volume and competition, so how much the keyword that you're targeting is searched, and also how many producers are already targeting your same niche. Now the range of artists, so the artists that are into the niche that you want to target, the competition, so the other producers doing your same type of beats, and the niche sustainability, which is basically how many views you could get ideally with this niche. So if it's a valuable niche, if it gets a lot of views in the long run, so if it can be in general sustainable for your channel. Now let's get to the first one, because I think it's the most important one. Let's say I want to make Lil Durk type beats, okay? I will look Lil Durk type beat here on YouTube. You can see there's gonna be a whole bunch of beats start to pop up. So the first thing that you want to look at when you start looking up keyword on YouTube is, first things first, the number of views. You can see a couple of 100,000 here. So this one got 1 million views. So you can see this could be a sustainable niche, because people already are getting a lot of views on their type beats. So once you think that it's a good niche to target, you will go on VidLQ here that I already opened it, and go on the keywords tab, and basically you want to look up the same keyword that you put on YouTube here on VidLQ. So for example, in this case it was Lil Durk type beat, so I will look Lil Durk type beat here. And the first thing that we want to look at is the search volume and also the competition. So in this case, it could be a nice niche to target just by this keyword, because you can see that the search volume is pretty high and the competition is pretty low. But I think we can do better. So to fix this, or to just simply make it better, I will add some words into the main keyword that I'm targeting. So for example, it could be free Lil Durk type beat. In this case, it's words, so we can remove that. Or it could also be, for example, I don't know, Lil Durk type beat free for profit, anything. Okay, if you see that it's only getting worse, you can simply, leave the original keyword like this. For example, let's also try free for profit Lil Durk type beat. Yeah, the competition is way lower, but also is the search volume. So we can simply leave this keyword here, because in this case it's working. So if I would have to start uploading type beats, the main keyword, even on the title, gotta be Lil Durk type beat, not anything else. So not 2024. You still gotta put free on the title, because that gets views when it pops up on the recommended page on people's feed. But this gotta be the main keyword in all of your videos, and this is something that you gotta understand. You can't switch up keywords in every single video or in every single beat that you upload on YouTube, because consistency is what is rewarded by YouTube. So if you keep being consistent, I'd say for like 30 days, you're gonna see results by you sticking to just one keyword. Now the second thing is range of artists. I'll take always Lil Durk type beats as an example. How many artists can you think of related to Lil Durk? It could be, for example, Lil Baby, I don't know, King Von, Lil Durk, obviously, because he's the main artist. So for example, in this case, I named 3 big artists that could be, in the same niche of Lil Durk. So if I want to switch up sometime the titles of my videos on YouTube, I could put, for example, Lil Durk x Lil Baby type beat. By doing this, you're basically not looking at spamming to YouTube, rather than just, always uploading the same titles in every single video. And you can see some producers are already doing this. So you can see King Von x Lil Durk x Pooh Shiesty, it got a lot of views, so you can see it's working. This one got Lil Durk x Lil Key, so you get the point, okay? Now, second thing is the competition. We already look at it. In this case, it's pretty low. It's not the best number that you could get in this case, but you can still go with it if your beats are great. And also the niche sustainability, we already talked about this, because there's a couple of videos with a lot of views. So you got 1.9 views, 1.2 billion views. So the niche is very sustainable, because you can see that a lot of other producers are already having great success with it. Now to move on, I actually put quality. Now this is kind of an obvious one, but some people still don't get it. So your beats gotta be perfect quality to actually get views, okay? You could have some success in the short term, but if you want your channel to be sustainable and still get views after even 1 year, 2 years, you gotta make sure that your beats are great and they outcompete the beats of other producers. Like, I can guarantee you that if you click on one of these videos with a lot of views, you can tell the beat is great. Quality of the beats is also what makes people stick longer into your videos, increase your watch time, and you know, at the end just get more views, because YouTube rewards videos with longer watch time. Now, the third factor is consistency. So consistency with titles and thumbnails, I'm going to be talking about this in a minute. Type of beats, quality, and brand. We already talked about quality. I want to focus on titles and thumbnails. This is crucial, bro, trust me. At the end, when you're uploading a beat to YouTube, it's like if you're uploading a generic video on YouTube. So the title and the thumbnail gotta be catchy so that people, when they see your video popping up in their feed, they actually click on it. I can show you the average click-through rate of my beats. So for example, the last beat that I uploaded, which is this one, it got 4,000 views. It had a click-through rate of 13%, which is actually great, alright? It's decent. You can tell this beat is not getting a lot of views, but I have beats with way more views. But you know, this is kind of the range that you want to target if you want to make sure that you're getting views, okay, on your beats. To improve your click-through rate, you have to make sure that your titles and your thumbnails are always consistent. For example, always looking at my channel, look at all the thumbnails that I'm using and all the titles, okay? It's always Splurge type beat on the title, and the thumbnails are very similar. You can see this outfit, pictures, you know, people with money, guns sometimes, and I've always been consistent with it. Like, this is my whole channel, and like even my most popular beats, you can see they all have the same type of thumbnails, okay? So I kept consistent with it for 2 years, and you can see how many subscribers I managed to achieve by being consistent with it. So by doing this, you also develop a brand, because people start to recognize your beats. So for example, when people read Splurge type beat on the title and they see these kind of pictures, they already think about me, because I'm basically the biggest producer in this kind of niche, okay? And that's the thing, because like once you become big in a niche that is not very saturated, bro, I swear to God, you're gonna be unstoppable, okay? Especially if you're like targeting a small artist, then not really everyone is targeting, okay? So the competition is very low. You could do this, for example, for upcoming artists that are not yet famous, but you think they're gonna pop up very soon, okay? I also did this with Splurge. You know, he's not all that big as an artist, but I'm getting a lot of views on his beats because I basically became the biggest producer targeting this kind of niche. To move on, I want to talk about titles and thumbnails, you know, this point right here. So I already talked about how it builds a brand, because people start to recognize your videos once you keep being consistent with the type of thumbnails and titles that you use. But also being consistent with titles and thumbnails and building a brand in general gets you higher click-through rate, because your fan base actually gets attached to your beats, okay? So once they see your video, they immediately gonna click on it without even thinking about it, okay? Because you build a brand, okay? You build awareness about your beats and all that stuff. And also, you gotta make sure that the titles and the thumbnails that you're using are actually matching the aesthetic that you want to target. So for example, let's say I'm making the most gangster beats of all time, okay? I can't fucking put flowers on a picture, okay? I make freestyle beats, so you can see I'm using this kind of picture where there's like money, guns, so anything that like that kind of music wants to promote, okay? But also, if you're making like, for example, R&B type beats, the best thumbnails that are working for this kind of beats are, for example, pictures of girls, or for example, landscapes, all that stuff, okay? And this leads you to short form success, because if you keep being consistent with these, you will start getting views right away. But the things that I talked about before are all the factors that actually guarantee you long-term success, okay? Because if your quality is consistent, titles, thumbnails, the brand, the type of beats that you make are consistent, and you also did a great market research, you're gonna see also success in the long term.